Okay, so this is the other part of the same problem. So this is the second video. In the first video, we converted 544 feet into 7.3 miles. Then we changed the miles into kilometers. Now we're going to start with those kilometers and we're going to go to meters. Now if you understand the metric system, you don't have to know conversion factors or unit fractions. You just have to know which direction to move around on the decimal or on the metric scale. Sort of, you know how we learned units in our own counting, ones, tens, hundreds place. Well, the metric system has unit place values, and if you know how to move around in these place values, that's all you need to understand. So we're going to take a look at that. If we have 11, we're starting with kilometers. We're going to try to get it to meters. Now, if you understand, the prefix kilo is 1,000. So is the prefix milli. So it can be somewhat contradicting. But kilometers are larger than millimeters and milli, which milli also means 1,000, but those are a lot smaller. And we're going to see where both fall on the overall scale that I'm going to draw. So I like to draw a very basic line. The middle of the line is always the name of the measurement. Like, for example, for measuring flat things, you use meter. That's not for volume. For volume, or often considered for liquids and stuff, you use liter as your basic word in the center, the basic unit. And then for weight, you have grams. Okay, those are always in the middle. Now anything to the right, just like in our numbering system, where zero's in the middle, you have the smaller or decimals this way and larger whole numbers this way. Well, it's a similar idea. So I'm going to put 2 marks here and 2 marks here. So when you draw the scale, if you want to draw this on the test, feel free. You have the 3 big marks. These are supposed to be larger than the other ones. So 1 on each end. This is just 1. And then 1 in the middle. And then these 2 smaller ones in between. What these are labeled as, always, doesn't matter whether you're using meters, liters, or grams. This one here is a decimeter. This is a centimeter. And here's our millimeter. I'm sorry, milli is our prefix here. I'm just going to write the prefixes, not the entire. We are talking about meters in this case, centimeters, but you can use this prefix for any of the words. In other words, I can say decimeter, deciliter, or decigram, centimeter, centiliter, or centigram, millimeter, milliliter, and milligram. Okay, so these are just prefixes. This one is deca. You don't often see deca and hecta. This is hecta. And this is kilo. Okay, so the values are 10, 100, and 1,000, because the metric system just works. It's kind of like a giant decimal system, really, and a giant decimal system in both directions, both to the left and the right. And then here you have 1/10, 1/100th, and 1/1000th. Okay, so anytime you move to the right, I'll abbreviate right, to the right, that's this direction, you're getting smaller. Anytime you move to the left, you're getting larger. And that's the whole key to the metric system. And when I say move, we're usually referring to moving the decimal. So we're starting out, I'll try to do a couple examples of this. We're starting out with 11.77 kilometers. So here's our kilometer right here. We're going to get to meters. That's over here. So we move. We jump. 1, 2, 3. So we do the same thing with our decimal. We went 3 places to the right because we're going from larger to smaller. So when you're going to the right, you're getting smaller. Okay, so that will equal, once we moved it, 11, and we'll put 7, 7. We're going to go 1, 2, and a third spot, so you have to add a 0. And there sits your decimal. And let's clean it up, and it looks like this: 11, 770 meter. Of course, there's going to be a lot of meters stuffed into kilometers, because 1 meter is because 1 kilometer has 1,000 meters in it. So if you're going to have 11 kilometers, you're going to have 11,000 meters in it. Okay, so we move the decimal. We can do another quick example of this. Let's clean this up, and let's try a new example. This time, let's go from 25, let's call it milligrams, and we're going to change it to, let's go crazy. Let's do decagrams. I believe it's DAG. You'll almost never see this. Let me write that out. Decagrams. So once again, all you're doing is moving the decimal. In this situation, we're going from milligrams, which is here. And remember, the prefix tells you where you start, whether you're using meter, liter, or gram. The prefix milli tells you where to start. And we're going to move this decimal 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. Takes 4 jumps to the left to change this number to decagrams. So that would give us, we got to take this decimal here and go 1, 2, 3, 4. So, I keep talking like that. So, then we end up with 2 zeros in front. So our final answer then is 0.0025 decagrams equal 25 milligrams. Okay, and of course we got a tiny number in the end because this isn't very much. 25 milligrams is just not very much stuff. So no matter what units it is, it's going to be small stuff. Okay, let's look at another example. Let's go from meter. No, let's go from liter. Let's go to 35 liters. And let's change it to milliliters. Now, you're never going to go from milliliters to millimeters. That doesn't make sense. The second letter has to be the same. Okay, so we're going from 35 liters, so we are in our liters. Let's use a different color. Let's See, it's green. We're starting at the center because liters is in the center. We're going to milliliters. So that's 1, 2, 3, 3 decimal places to the right, which is, here's your decimal. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm moving it over here. So our answer will be 35. 1, 2, 3. Dink. 35,000 milliliters in 35 liters. And that makes sense because 1,000 milli anything is in the center. So 1,000 millimeters in 1 meter, 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter, 1,000 milligram in 1 gram. And then the other way, when you have a kilometer, that means 1,000 meters are in 1 kilometer because we're going over this way. Or 1,000 liters are in 1 kiloliter. 1,000 grams are in 1 kilogram. Okay, so that's my little cheat sheet. And remember, the way I set it up really quickly is you could draw this on your test, take a line, 3 big things, 2 little things, beep, beep. You know this is the center. So meters or liters or grams, and this is always milliliters or milla. This is milla. Milla. Okay. And then this is kilo on the other side. And it helps to guide you. You know how to jump around. 1, 2, 3 to get from kilo to the middle, and you're moving your decimal. This is your little guide sheet for moving the decimal. Okay, that's the quick version of the meter or the metric to metric conversion.